Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to 2024. Doesn't that seem very futuristic? God, we'll talk about that in a second. Welcome, guys. Welcome to a brand new year. Welcome to another episode of Cliff Notes Live. Welcome back. I missed last Monday, Christmas Day, Christmas night. I gotta say, I'm fine with that. It gave y'all a chance to be with your friends and family. Gave me a chance as well. I did miss y'all last week, though. I hope y'all have a fantastic holiday. Y'all tell me what you did. I want to find out all about it. But before we do that, before I start asking questions, a big old SKD 143. Love my wife, love my kids, love reality TV. Love you guys that come out here to chat with me every Monday night. Episode 160. Man, we're 3 years and something. That's just incredible. So appreciate y'all having me out here. The ones watching live, the ones watching on replay as well. I treasure and I value both of you. Thank you so much, or all of y'all, both of you. Treasure all of y'all. So thank y'all so much. For those of you who have not gone out and subscribed to my channel, turned on notifications, and maybe thrown a thumbs up on there as well, please consider doing so. We're through with Survivor. We're through with reindeer games. We got to figure out what I may be covering, what y'all want me maybe to cover this spring. I'm going to be watching Survivor. Whether I cover it or not, we'll see. Big Brother Canada, they don't have live feeds. We'll certainly be talking about it out here. But beyond that, y'all give me some suggestions. I'm looking for shows and such as well. All right, let me go out here real quick. I want to see who all made it into the new year with me as well. Lee Strack. Lee, welcome aboard the very first post of 2024. So welcome to you, my friend. Marilyn Sutherland. Hey, Marilyn. Kennedy Franklin. Terry Thomas. Jake the Horror Movie Geek. Paula Scar. I love seeing all these names out here. Ma, welcome aboard, Ma. When do you start school back? You got to be getting close, right? Amanda Lowe. Nunez 1919. Cindy Heyer. Hey, Cindy. Let's see. Carly Hunt. Go all these names. Michelle Moore as well. Y'all are just having quite the conversation, right? I love to see it. Travel the world. Hey, Travel. You ought to be on Amazing Race. I love that login name. Tammy Flanagan as well. Beverly Brannon, Classic. Taylor Mangus, Michelle Moore. I'll say it again. The Angels Grandma, Desiree Watts, Deb McDougal. This sounds like an Outlander kind of name. Why did I say your name? I hope so, but if not, I don't mind saying again. Karen Loveland, Monty King, and Michelle Moore. I think I said your name as well, but I don't mind at all. Welcome to all of y'all guys. And again, welcome to those of you who are watching on replay as well. I know, and I actually sat here and said, do I want to do a New Year's Eve, or not New Year's Eve, that was yesterday, a New Year's Day show. We got football going on. People may still be recovering from whatever crazy stuff y'all were doing last night, but I couldn't not come on here 2 weeks straight. So thanks to y'all for joining me as well. So how were your holidays? Since the last time I talked to you guys, we've had Christmas, we've had New Year's. I personally had on Friday night, celebrated my 33rd wedding anniversary with Sharon. 33 years. I love the sound of it. We're third of the way through to 100. So by the time we're at Cliff Notes number 2000 and something, we'll be celebrating. Sharon and I'll be celebrating our 100th wedding anniversary, and I'll probably still be doing the show, and some of y'all maybe still chatting with me as well. But now we celebrate our 33rd wedding anniversary. We went out Friday night and had a really fancy seafood dinner and celebrated and all that before driving up to the Dallas-Fort Worth area to hang out with my extended family. We'll talk about Christmas stuff in a little bit. I just want to see what y'all are up to. Let me look at a few of these comments as well. Travel the World saying, congratulations on 33 years. Thank you. I'm very proud of it. That the best decision that I ever made in my entire life. Yeah, I think what's the song go about? I married up and she married way, way down. Yeah, kind of feel like that. I'm very lucky that she took me on board, so to speak. All right, let's see what we've got on here. A couple of Marilyn Sutherland saying, I binge watched Squid Games. It was good. I agree with you, Marilyn, so much. For those of you who have not seen it yet, check it out. I talked to a few of my family members this weekend, some who are big into reality TV who just hadn't checked it out yet. Some who'd seen the movie and said, yeah, I don't want to watch that for real. So, well, little spoiler, no one actually died. Well, Not that they don't get hurt. I've heard there were some people got a little hypothermia and things like that, but no one actually gets taken out at the end of that thing. Uh, but yeah, I'm still amazed that someone won $4.6 million playing a game. It makes me think that I'd be willing to go through a lot of stuff for the possibility of winning 4.6 million. So I'm glad you binged watched it and got it in. It doesn't take that long to watch, right? It's like 10 episodes or so. So you can do it over a weekend, and it was fantastic. I'm ready for season 2 at this point in time. I think they're supposed to be doing a Squid Game, the TV, not the game show, not the reality show, but actually a Squid Game, the series, supposed to be doing a second season as well. For those of you who watched it, or for those of you who didn't as well, they left on a little bit of a cliffhanger. There's still a lot of things to be figured out about what exactly was going on and all that. But yeah, love Squid Game. So if you haven't checked it out, please do so. I've got Traitors 2 to watch. That's on my list. I've heard that's going to be good, or is good. So I'm ready for that as well. What have I been watching? What have I been binging? Guys, there's always something on. My mom, of all people, watched a lot of seasons, a lot of episodes of a show, Suits. I think I may have mentioned this 2 weeks ago on my last show. I'd never even heard of Suits, but I went ahead and started watching it. And now we're hooked on that. We're through a couple of seasons. We're still trying. It's like 7 seasons. How are there 7 seasons of a show that I'd never even heard the name of? But it's all about high Wall Street type attorneys and everything. It's kind of, for those of you who watch Psych, which was one of our favorite shows while it was on, and then the show on CBS called Bull. Kind of combines Psych and Bull, and you get Suits a little bit. It's a fantastic show. I think it came out right about the time that I was going into the Big Brother house, maybe a little bit before I went in, but I think it really started taking off while I was spending my summer doing some other stuff. So that may be why it kind of fell off the radar and never got around to seeing it. But we watched that. We watched a submarine movie called Silent Hunter. I think Silent Hunter with Gerard Depardieu, if I recall. Fantastic, great stuff. I love me some submarine movies. It's whether it's Das Boot or Hunt for Red October. There's a lot of those kind of movies I really enjoy. For those of you who don't know, kind of going off on a tangent here, when I was in high school, I was thinking I'd go to college and maybe be an engineer or something, but they actually came out of the military and talked to all of us, said, hey, would you consider going in the military, and we'll pay for your college. And they called it the ASVAB test. It's like the vocational aptitude and battery test. I took that, and by the time I got done, I had a guy come up with the Navy and said, hey, Cliff, if you want to be a nuclear engineer, we'd love to have you. We'll pay for it. But in exchange, you're going to have to work on either a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier or submarine. I still thought about it. How would my life have been different if I did that? I had a hard time at the time picturing myself being on one of those nuclear subs where you're underwater for 6 months at a time and all. It'd still be a little hard to do. But anyway, so because there was a possibility I could have been on a sub as a very much younger version of myself, anytime I watch those kind of movies, yeah, it gives me a lot of what ifs, and that would have been interesting. So anyway, if you haven't seen it, Silent Hunter with Gerard Depardieu, great movie. All right, so what else do we have on here? These comments. I got Deb McKernan saying a nice background. All right, New Year's Eve. What did y'all do? Did y'all do crazy stuff? Not so much for us. We kind of took it easy this weekend. We had a big extended family celebration up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area Saturday night. We had all my brothers and cousins and relatives. There were probably 30 or 40 folks up there. And we celebrated, starting off in the early afternoon, went into the evening. I'm a Houston Texans fan. You see the shirt I got for Christmas, one of my presents. But I'm a Houston Texans fan, but grew up a Cowboys fan. Everyone else in the extended family is Cowboys fans. So we sat around Saturday night, watched the Cowboys movie. And and Ma saying, watch the Cowboy Lions game. Oh, yeah, we watched it. And I watched my family, the Cowboy fans, have a meltdown at the end when they thought that Cowboys had lost the game, and then it turned around. They were excited. We watch. So we spent a lot of time Saturday night hanging out with each other. So by the time last night came along with New Year's Eve, we're like, we're going to play a little more casual. So it was actually Sharon and myself and my mom, and we were over at my mom's house, and we watched all the TV shows, the the Dick Clark's one with Ryan Seacrest, Anderson Cooper, and Andy Cohen on was it Bravo, I guess, or CNN, I think. And you know what I love watching? I love watching the Spanish language celebrations as well. Because first of all, it lets me practice a little Spanish, but two, the music and everything they do is so much fun. So we just went back and forth watching all of them. And then at midnight, because I was up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we watched the fireworks celebration out there. This is not from Dallas, but it was very similar. You know, fireworks are fireworks for a long time, except Dallas had, I think they said 500 drones. So they had 500 drones that all went up, and they formed all these different graphics from decade to decade, starting with the 30s all the way up to the 2010s, I think, 2020s, and then finished off with 2024. It is amazing what these drones can do. It's pretty scary that they could be used as weapons and can do all kinds of stuff. But from purely an entertainment standpoint, it's amazing all the graphics they can do up in the air. Check out YouTube. I have no doubt somewhere on YouTube, if you do Dallas 2024 New Year's Eve celebration drones or something like that, you'll see them. It was really cool. I know there's other cities that have done it. It's not just Dallas, but I'm pretty impressed. In a way, it's kind of scary. Again, the technology that's out there nowadays, the way these things can coordinate and operate and all of that. So anyway, so yeah, that's a long way of saying that. My background, a little bit of a celebration for the New Year's Eve. We started watching like lunchtime yesterday. We watched the New Year's Eve celebration in Sydney, Australia, which was incredible. We watched Bangkok, Thailand. We watched Greece. We watched London. We just kind of went around the globe watching as they pulled all this stuff up. It's pretty neat. Hey, it's kind of cool that no matter what country you're in, you have a New Year's Eve celebration. It's not, Christmas. You've got some regions that are predominantly Christian religion that celebrate it, but not so much other regions. It's a very geographically focused. Some of the holidays we have. Well, New Year's Eve, pretty much everyone, right? And it was cool watching everyone celebrate getting into a new year. So we watched it all. All right, let's see what else we have on here. Amanda Lowe saying, "Did you go to the Texas A&M game last week?" No, it was here in Houston, and I thought about it, but I was still officially working. It was a slow week for work, but I was officially working, and so we didn't go. But I sure watched it on TV. My Aggies got beat, but it is what it is. We got a new coach, a new year. It didn't break my heart. It's just one of those things. Our quarterback got injured on the very first play of the game, which I hated to see. I'm sure he hated it even more to see. That was so rough. But yeah, no, I didn't watch the game, but certainly, I didn't go to the game. I love the live football games, but yeah, we didn't do that one. We were getting ready to pack up and get out of here soon afterwards. So we got that. All right, Beverly Brandon saying, "Where and when will Traders come on?" All right, we've had the first season of Traders, which was fantastic. I don't want to give too much away for those of you who haven't seen it. I think it was on Netflix, right? Suri Fields was on it. Cody Calafuri was on it. We had a lot of former reality TV folks on there. Well, now they're coming out with Traders 2, which I assume is on Netflix also. Y'all tell me, has it come out yet? I don't think so, because I've been watching Suits on Netflix and I don't see Traders listed. So I think it's coming out here very quickly, but not yet. But it's going to have like Dan Giesling on there and some old school hardcore Big Brother players, so amongst others. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one when it starts up as well. All right, what else do we have on here? We've got let me look over here. Malström and friends have Christmas, but it's in summer, so I bet all the winter associations must trip them out. Yeah, Ma, you're right. That is pretty interesting that down there, being the southern hemisphere, I guess, do they go to the beach and just hang out on the beach? They celebrate Christmas the way we celebrate 4th of July? Maybe. I guess. I kind of defeats. Do you have a palm tree instead of a Christmas tree? And yeah, it could definitely be a different kind of season celebration down Australia. But I got to say, their New Year's Eve celebration, they did it off in the Sydney Harbor. More fireworks going off across that bridge that goes across the harbor. It was incredible. It's one of the best you'll watch a lot of fireworks. After a while, they get to be the same, but it was a really good one. All right, let's see what else we got. Cindy saying, Traders, it's on Peacock. All right, thank you, Cindy. Well, then maybe that explains why I didn't see it on Netflix. So, so much for my Netflix endorsement and all that, right? Okay, it's on Peacock. I got that. And then Ma saying, comes out the 12th. All right, so there you go. So now I got my marching orders. My new list to fill out. I'll definitely be watching that. I don't have Peacock TV right now. I guess I'll be getting it, right? There's some good stuff coming out this spring or even later this month. We got Traders out there. There's a movie coming out called ISS about, it looks like down on Earth. You start having Russia and the United States maybe going to war and things like that. And meanwhile, you got the astronauts up on the space station that end up having to fight each other. It's pretty scary, right? But it looks like an incredible, from special effects and everything else, looks like an incredible movie. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to later this spring. There's a movie called Civil War coming out, envisioning what would happen if you had some kind of modern day civil war in the United States. Looks like it's going to be incredible. We were going to watch some movies. We actually talked about on Christmas Day going out and watching a movie. The Hunger Games prequel is out there. We talked about that. We talked about Willy Wonka, or Wonka, I guess it's called. There's a few of them we were going to see, and by the time Christmas got here, we were like, God, we're just kind of already exhausted. We had my my son and his wife, my daughter and her husband, all come into Houston the weekend before Christmas, and we did our Christmas on Saturday. Christmas was on a Monday, but we did it all on Saturday. It was fantastic having everyone over here all day long. Did everything, just a big fancy dinner and Christmas presents, and everything we did was on Saturday. So that way they could then go hang with their other families. Yeah, my daughter could go with her father-in-law, son could go with his in-laws as well on Christmas Day. So it worked out pretty well. But it meant when Christmas Day came along, it was a little bit more chill in the Hog household, because it was just Sharon and I. We ended up, just like the movie Christmas Story, we ended up going to eat Chinese food Christmas Day in the evening for dinner. And we kind of planned it on purpose just because we thought it'd be fun. Found a place that was open. That was great. Sharon and I went with my daughter and son-in-law, who were still here in town, and just had Christmas and Christmas at the Chinese restaurant. We didn't have them caroling along with us, but had fun with it. So yeah, it was a lot of fun Christmas Day. But because of that, we just never quite got around to it. We binge watched Suits instead. So yeah, I still got a few movies I'm gonna watch here and there. All right, what else did we do? Talking about, it's always crazy when you get around the Hog household for these celebrations. We had, again, just my family for Christmas, pretty casual, standard, all of that. But Saturday night with the extended family, a little more interesting. We had a lot of folks there. We had a lot of fun playing a few different games. We played one game that was a lot of fun. Basically, we had a table. We separated out with strips of tape and a toilet paper roll, and every person, one at a time, got to roll a toilet paper roll. And wherever that toilet paper roll stopped on the table, you had a different task that you had to do. Some of them were good. Like I got a chocolate bar when I did mine. You know me rolling things, I'm not too bad. So I got a good one. But there was money, there was candy, there were chips, and there were a few note cards for a few punishments as well that were pretty funny. I've got a niece who pulled a card, and the best prizes were right next to the worst punishments. And she didn't quite get the prize that she wanted. Instead, she got a punishment which involved putting a big old slob of peanut butter on each of her two cheeks, and then letting the two dogs that were running around the house come and just lick all the peanut butter off of her face until it was completely clean. Dogs loved it. They got a Christmas extra Christmas gift as a result of it. And of course, we all videotaped it. So she's 9 or 10 now. When she's a little bit older, trust me, that video is going to come in handy. But she did that. Probably the worst punishment. Someone had to eat hot sauce, which was pretty funny. But probably the worst punishment. I've got a nephew who drew a card, and his card was that another side of the family was coming over a little bit later to watch the Cowboys game. And his punishment was every person who shows up from this point forward, and he's grown. He's in his 20s now. He's the same age as my kids. His punishment was every person that comes in the house after you read this card, you have to give them a hug, but not just a hug. You have to hug them for at least 30 seconds before you let go, no matter what. You have to do it with everyone else that comes into the house for the rest of the evening. Well, so that was great. So sure enough, one of the first people that came in afterwards was an aunt of mine. And he came over and he gave her a hug. The first 10 seconds, no issues at all. The next 10 seconds, you could see her starting to kind of maybe figure it was long enough for the hug. The last 10 seconds was a little miserable or a little stressful watching him trying to make sure that she didn't disengage too quickly. And yeah, it was, we had fun watching that. It kind of reminded me, do y'all remember, one of y'all help me out, because I know as America's player, Eric Stein back in his season had to do some different tasks to win money, I think, or maybe he just had to do it just to stay in the game. He had to mimic someone, and he mimicked Evil Dick. I remember him doing it, walking around and acting like he's smoking a cigarette and stuff. That guy was great. I would love to see him back on reindeer games, regular Big Brother, celebrity, whatever. Just put Eric Stein somewhere, because he's one of my favorites. But one of the things he also had to do, if I recall, is he had to hug someone for at least a minute or something. So he told some big, long sob story. And I don't remember who it was, but he told someone this sob story, maybe Rennie or someone. I don't even remember who all was in there. It told this long sob story, and then he just hugged him and had to hug him forever. And it was a little awkward as well, but he did it. Y'all tell me, that was Eric Stein in season 8, right? If not, then I'll stand corrected. But yeah, so we kind of had that repeated during our deal as well. My aunt knew that something was up, but and meanwhile, she's wondering what's going on. And I'm standing behind her, and my nephew's watching me. I'm going 1, 2, 3, counting down the whole time. And so everyone in the room's watching as well and laughing that he won't let go of her. So 30 seconds, y'all try it out. Go hug your mom or dad or spouse or whoever. Hug them for 30 seconds. Count your head for 30 seconds and see just how long it really is, and see how they respond as well. And they may like it. Try it out and see. But it was funny when he did it with my aunt. It was even funnier when he did it a little bit later with my uncles and some of my younger nephews, who may not be so used to getting the long hugs from other guys in the family. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun doing that. We had so much food this past 2 weeks, guys. I just kind of had to roll in here and start doing this thing. I'm gonna be doing a lot of running this year just to get over it. Of course, we had macaroni and cheese, right? It wouldn't be a holiday without macaroni and cheese in my family, but we had that. We had tamales, which is kind of a favorite down here for Christmas. We had tamales, enchilada casserole, fajitas, ham. Oh my god, incredible ham. So we and a whole lot of desserts as well. So we had a lot of fun over these over these couple of weekend celebrations. Then a great Christmas and then New Year's. You get to do everything a couple of times spread out. So that was a lot of fun. All right, let's see what else do we have on here, and then I've got a few things I'll talk about as well. Oh yeah, let's talk about a few presents as well. Beverly Brandon saying, "Be careful with peanut butter and dogs." Thank you for that. I hadn't even thought about that. I need to check into that, because I've done peanut butter and those Kongs for dog treats and stuff as well. But I guess maybe you never know. I know it's bad to have chocolate for dogs, right? I never thought about peanut butter, but okay. Thank you so much. We didn't even think that when we put it on. They seem to be doing pretty well, but I know, it's funny, when I was in the Big Brother house, we talked when I got HOH. There was something about my letter from home, my HOH letter. My wife had mentioned something about the avocados I was growing in the back, that the dog was eating them or something. There's people who thought that was some kind of coded, clued message, that she is trying to send me some kind of warning about who to trust or not to trust. No, she just knew that I was very proud of the loofahs and avocados and some of the things I was growing in the backyard. So she mentioned that. Our dog ate avocados all the time off the tree. And I've had people say, "Oh, that's kind of poisonous for dogs and all that." Maybe it's because they weren't ripe yet, or she didn't eat the pit. I'm not sure what it is, but it never faced her. Which is good, because it would have been tough to keep her from doing it. But yeah, I don't know. You always have to be careful with that kind of stuff, right? Talking about being careful and talking about eating kind of exotics and all that. My wife got a Christmas gift that we've been having so much fun with. Have y'all ever heard? It's the Ninja Creamy. And yeah, I know there's a Ninja everything, right? The Ninja air fryer, Ninja. I don't know. It's probably, I'm sure it starts with throwing knives. They've moved on to less threatening type things. But she got the Ninja Creamy, which basically means you just create a base using Greek yogurts and oat milks, whatever you want to make it. But you make a base of stuff. Then you put in a lot of add-ins, freeze it all up, and then you use this creamy, and it just creams everything up. And so you make your own ice cream. And she got that. We had so much fun. That's one of the things we did Sunday night, and then all day Christmas Day was trying out all these exotic flavors. I made pineapple ice cream. I made key lime pie ice cream. She'd make some chocolate silk pudding ice cream, some pistachio ice cream. We're gonna try maybe after I get done doing the show. I want to try some peanut butter and jelly ice cream, which made me think of you mentioning the peanut butter. I want to try some peanut butter and jelly ice cream. I'm not sure how you do macaroni and cheese ice cream, but maybe, right? I don't know. I'm experimenting. I'm actually thinking about doing some videos of taking the most weird exotic flavors and turning that into ice cream or something. We had so much fun experimenting with this stuff, so we're gonna keep on doing it. I love spicy food, so we may be doing some jalapeno ice cream or some banana peppers. I don't know. I've been coming up with some really exotic, weird stuff. How fun would it be to have an ice cream truck, and when they pull up, you don't have anything normal. All you got is macaroni and cheese ice cream, jalapeno ice cream. It's like, take your pick. It's better than the dirt ice cream, right? So we'll see. All right, Cindy Hire saying, my dog eats bananas. I guess bananas maybe would be okay, right? I had to be careful. I grow grapes, and I know grapes are not good for dogs, so we always had to make sure that she didn't eat those. I don't remember her ever going crazy for bananas, but hey, dogs will eat a lot of different kind of food, right? So we had that. Banana pudding ice cream. That sounds pretty good. I'd do that. Talk about eating and all that. We got from my mom. I don't know if my mom's out here or not. Cliff, stop. I'm going to puke. Mom, it's good. Trust me. I'm going to come up with some flavors, and y'all are going to say, oh, that sounds horrible. Maybe I'll eat them online. Maybe I'll do a taste test during one of my episodes, and we'll rank these things. Y'all can rank it based on how disgusting my face looks when I try something. We'll see. My mom got a gift we had so much fun with today. We were up in Dallas until just today, took off, raced down here to Houston so I could get back in front of the computer to do the show itself, because I wasn't going to miss out on it. But before we took off, she had gotten a birdhouse for her backyard that has a camera installed, and it connects to her phone. So now whenever the birds come up to eat the seeds and all that, because it's a bird feeder, I guess, more than just a bird house. It's a bird feeder. So when they come up and they perch on the little feeding tray, you can see the birds and see what kind it is and all of that. And we had so much fun just watching all these different birds. Now, the other thing they've got is a button that you can push on your phone that sets off a siren. So if a squirrel or something comes up, you can scare that squirrel away with a siren. Kind of see how cool would that be if they had that in Big Brother, that there's just a random siren that fans could push every once in a while to just shock someone or scare someone, or some kind of camera in the refrigerator facing out while you're in there eating or something else. I don't know. We had a lot of fun watching birds. Nicole Anthony's worst nightmare. She did not like birds at all. She still doesn't like them, but we had a lot of fun watching them. Funny, when they see free food, a lot of birds showed up at that bird feeder. So that's pretty good. Oh, my mom. I was like, hey, Mom, and saying, I love the birdhouse. Love, love, love. Yeah, we did okay with that gift. We had fun watching as well. I never knew there were so many different varieties of birds in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I'm waiting to see the first cat or squirrel that shows up on that feeder as well. I'm sure because it's all motion detected, so they'll all pop up pretty quick. So, yeah, had fun hanging out with my mom this weekend. And we even watched Green Day perform during the New Year's Eve ceremony, and Mom got to do a little research on Green Day and American Idiot and some of their songs and all that. So, yeah, we had a blast with everything we were doing. All right, Classic is saying Eric cried to Kale. Kale, thank you, who had a fake story about eating issues. All right, I knew it was Eric. I knew it wasn't Sheila. I knew it wasn't Shelly. Those were later seasons, but I could not remember Kale's name. But I knew it was someone, that little kind of character type and all that. Okay, thank you. I had so much fun watching Brittany. Dream come true, watching her get to play a game. You know, it wasn't real Big Brother. I mean, not that Reindeer Games wasn't completely for him, but it wasn't Big Brother per se. But I still loved watching her get to do that and get to do some diary room sessions. Now it's time for Eric Stein, the summer of Eric, the summer of Stein. I don't know. He may have burned a few bridges. I don't know if he's on the best terms with CBS and all that, but I'd love to see him back. Oh, how much fun would it be to play the game with Eric? He would have. I think he could have won if he hadn't been forced to play America's Player. But it is what it is. If I had gone into the house during my season and on day one they'd say, "Hey, Cliff, just so you know, you're going to be playing for America." On the one hand, I'd be excited because I'd feel that bond with the viewers, and I would certainly do everything I could to embrace the role and do everything possible. But it did hurt him in terms of some of the votes that he had to cast that really hurt his game, and he kind of had to play with his hands tied to some degree. Couldn't really do as much as he wanted to, and so I always felt sorry for him with that. But still fun watching him play the game. All right, Ma saying I'm pretty sure the Green Day performance was recorded in advance. I hadn't heard their music for a while. I enjoyed the music. There were some good performances from a lot of different folks on those shows. Bowling for Soup, one of my favorites. Y'all know Bowling for Soup. They're from here in Texas. They're just fun. Come back to Texas means a little extra just because I'm from Texas and all that. And so anyway, we had fun watching all the different varieties of performances and all of that. All right, let's see what else we've got on here. My mom. Our peanut butter was safe for dogs because it did not contain xylitol, an artificial sweetener which can be deadly for dogs. It's also in sugar-free gum. So there you have it. There you're getting it from the science teacher. My mom taught life science in junior high for many, many years. I grew up in a house full of all kinds of critters. As a little kid, I had a skunk that came through my mom. A friend of hers gave her a skunk, so we raised a skunk, dogs, cats, snakes, hamsters, fish. If it lives, breathes, bites, my mom probably had it at some point in time raising it, and so yeah, thank you, Mom. I knew there was something to it, but I would not have known the xylitol. So we have that. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, and I actually used this when I was trying out for Big Brother. I don't know if you know, but for me, I didn't send in a video. I went to a casting call, but after the casting call, they then reached out to me and said, "Hey, Cliff," I had to come back in, do a little video after my casting call because I guess they saw maybe some opportunity there. So I thought they saw something that maybe would work. But then later they sent me a deal, said, "All right, Cliff, we need you to list, 5 or 6 or 7 things. 7 unique things about you as a person that would be of interest and things to talk about going forward." All right, well, sure. So I was trying to think of things. I talked about the fact that I learned to drive when I was 7 or 8 years old because Granny Hog, they had kind of a ranch and or a big farm area. And so we would get to drive a little bit. I'd sit in her lap. I couldn't reach the gas pedals, but I could hold the steering wheel. And so she'd let us drive up to the house and all that. I talked about that. I talked about my ability to say the alphabet backwards, but I also talked about that I'd grown up with a pet skunk named Oreo. Now, this skunk had its scent glands removed, so it was safe. It couldn't do anything to you except scare you. But we had a skunk. We named it Oreo, and my brother and I, it would play with us all the time. A little fidgety, a little nervous around everyone else except for us 2 boys. Didn't really handle anyone else that well, but one time the skunk got out of our house. We looked everywhere. We couldn't find it. We said, well, it's got to be somewhere in the neighborhood. So we drove around at night. My mom and dad had flashlights. They were shining it in all the bushes because they knew the flashlight, when it hits the skunk's eyes, it would reflect back and you'd see them. We're going back and forth. And finally, at the end of the street, there's kind of an open vacant lot area. And one of them shines a flashlight. I think my dad shines a flashlight and says, "There it is. I see the eyes right there." And as they kind of wait, you can see, sure enough, yeah, there's a skunk right there. So my dad's like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." So he gets out, he runs over to grab the skunk. And just as he's reaching down, my mom hollers out from the side window, says, "Porky, what if that's not Oreo? What if that's some other skunk?" and, and we all laughed. My brother and I started just falling all over because he jumps back so quick. But at that point in time, he was kind of committed. He grabbed the skunk, he held it up and said, "Is this Oreo?" And she said, "I don't know. I guess so, but how do you identify one from the other?" But they figured out eventually the fact that I guess it didn't immediately spray them. It had to probably be our skunk. So they took it back, and sure enough, it turns out it was. But yeah, that was quite the shocker. So yeah, I had a lot of fun telling my Oreo stories, my skunk stories, to a lot of the producers and everything while I was auditioning for that show. Not a lot of people raise skunks, as I found out. Imagine that. I didn't think it was unusual until I started talking to other people and found out that yeah, not that common. All right, Michelle Moore saying, hi, Cliff's mom. Oh, hi, Cliff's mom. Will you be a guest on his show? Y'all need to talk my mom into it. I've told her that I'd love to get her on the show, and she's not always so eager to do it. You think I got some stories? My mom has a few stories as well. Maybe that needs to be one of our New Year's resolutions. Get my mom on this show. Maybe it may not be the full hour. Maybe we'll just give her 15 minutes or so, and let her tell a few stories here or there, because I'm not the only crazy one in my family. We got a few folks that she's got some stories on. So all right, well, thank you for the suggestion, Mom. You heard it. It's not just me. You got some people who'd love to see you on the show, and yeah, maybe we can make that happen. We'll be working on that. So I appreciate the suggestion. All right, Taylor Mangus is saying, anyone watching Alabama and Michigan, they're tied. I'm not watching it. I'm recording it. So all right, no more spoilers, Taylor. But it's okay here, and they're tied. Yeah, I didn't watch as much football this weekend because my Aggies were already out and I'm busy with other stuff. I did watch my Texans yesterday, which was a lot of fun. And then we've got Texas and Texas tonight playing. Oh, Michigan and Alabama. I was listening to that on the way in. The fact it's still tied. All right, I was thinking the later game, but thank you, Taylor. That's actually good to know. Later tonight, we'll be watching Texas play Washington. My daughter went to Texas, so even though I'm an Aggie, I'll still be cheering on the Longhorns, hoping they can do it this evening. It's going to be so hard when Texas and A&M start playing each other in football again next year, because my son went to A&M, Sharon and I went to A&M, my daughter went to Texas, a house divided. But unfortunately, we'll just make sure that everyone understands it's just a game, right? Yeah, good luck on football in this state being like that. Urban Hermit is saying, is the skunk more like a cat or a dog? Probably more like a cat, if I gotta say, because it's not the most, I don't know. I mean, it would come up to us, as I recall, and sit in our laps and things like that, but it's not going to follow you around or anything. It pretty much just likes to hang out. And yeah, Pepe Le Pew. Y'all remember Pepe Le Pew and Sylvester this cat and all that? Old school cartoons there. A little bit more like a cat, and that a skunk is very, very independent. It likes to hang out. It likes dark areas. It's a nocturnal animal. So it typically would just live underneath our couch most of the time. And we would just feed it. I think they fed it cat food. My mom can correct if that's not the case, but it would just kind of hang out under the couch, and my brother and I would get it to come out every once in a while. But yeah, it's not like the skunk's going to go fetch a ball or anything. I tell you what, as an adult, it's probably a good thing that I don't have a pet skunk, because being the prankster that I am, I can only imagine how much trouble I could get into, especially if I had a camera with me, walking around carrying that skunk and just exposing it to people here and there and watching their reactions. I could have taken it over to California. Yeah, like I'm going to get on an airplane with the skunk. That may not work so well either, but I'm sure the producers and the Big Brother folks would not have been so appreciative if I walked into the Big Brother house with a skunk either. There was a skunk when we had that activity, smelling the horrible stuff. They actually had a live skunk out in the back area where we were having to smell stuff, and it caught me off guard. Surely it'd been descented as well, but it brought back some memories when I saw that. All right, let's see what else. Kennedy Franklin saying, favorite gift you got for Christmas? My mom got us a honey baked ham, which I got to say was a very nice, very much appreciative gift. What else I get? I got some stuff that was very needed. A big ladder, which I'll probably end up breaking my leg on, but a ladder that goes up super high so I can do some trimming of trees and things like that. Not Christmas trees, outdoor trees. The fun gifts I got. Here's one I got that's pretty cool. It's called an assault rifle, assault weapon. It's a gun that you load up with table salt, and when you shoot it, it shoots a blast of air that includes a whole bunch of salt grains also. So it's like a shotgun blast with salt, and it shoots kind of like a Nerf gun, but instead of shooting the Nerf dart, it shoots just a bead of salt grains, and it's used to take out mosquitoes or flies or someone who's not paying so much attention to you. I would not ever want to shoot someone in the face with it or anything else, but we try. Of course, we tried it out. My son wanted to see just how painful it may be, so I actually shot him on the arm, shot him on the backside, the lower back, and we discovered it stings a little bit. It actually is a little painful if you get too close to it, but I've got that. So, of course, first thing I do is I load up the gun and I go out in the backyard to see if I can find some flies or mosquitoes or something that I can take out. It doesn't have a huge range, 2 or 3 feet at most, but 2 or 3 feet gets you pretty close to those flies. And so, yeah, this summer I'm going to have a blast. I'll be shooting those mosquitoes out of the sky left and right the whole time. But I got that. We got a new fire pit as well. So, because Sharon and I love just being out in the backyard, burning logs and just enjoying the outdoors and all of that. So we did get to do it. It's perfect weather, a little cool outside. So a fire pit's perfect. We're going to be trying that. So I've got a fire pit and it's some cool stuff. So now y'all tell me what did y'all get? Give me some favorite gifts that some of y'all got for this Christmas celebration. Yeah, it's not all about gifts, but it is a fun time to let people know how much you care for them, and sometimes that's done through gift giving. What'd y'all get? Yeah, y'all get any good ones, fun ones? Let me know. Karen Berkey saying, "Oh no, I forgot. I'm really late." No worries, Karen. Glad to have you on board, and it is on replay. So after it's done, you can go back and catch some of what you missed. Karen Loveland saying, "You need eyeglasses with a built-in camera to record." I've seen some of those cameras. That would be fun to do for pranks and all of that. Also seems like people could look at you kind of funny with it. I watch some of the TikTok pranksters and YouTube pranksters, and there's a lot of people that carry it too far. The pranks I play, I always get my family members, right? The people who know who I am and what to expect and all of that. I don't get random strangers. That's kind of my borderline. I'm not going to do that because they don't agree. They don't consent to be the butt of a joke. So I would never do that. But I see that sometimes on some of the channels and all that. I had a fun one. I remember I was telling kids, some of the kids in our family, that it was a magic trick involving a water bottle. I could spin it and make a tornado in it. So I'd spin the thing and say, "Now watch." And they'd lean over. Well, I'd poke a little hole in the side of the bottle. So when they lean over, I could squeeze the bottle and shoot, hit them in the face. It's just like a modern day version of the ring that squirts water or something. And we had some fun doing that as well. Just acting silly all week long. So we'll get that. All right, let's see. Kennedy saying, "I got $100 to Kohl's and new bed sheets." Sounds like a winner to me. That's pretty good. Congratulations on that. Ma saying, "I got a hoodie, some shirts, a yoga mat, and a Rick Astley poster." All right. Some very useful ones, and then a fun one with Rick Astley. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yoga. When I got out of the Big Brother house, there's a local yoga studio that said, "Hey Cliff, we'd love to have you come on by. We'll make you a member, and we'd love to have you doing a little yoga with us." Never quite got around to doing that. I'm not sure I got a body right now that's meant for yoga, but that probably wouldn't be a bad thing to do. All right, let's see. Amanda saying, "Cliff, are you going to the national championship in Houston Monday night?" It is here in Houston. If Texas is playing in it, that would be huge. But I probably could not afford the tickets and find the tickets, even no matter who's playing in the game. But especially if it's Texas, that's going to be high dollar tickets. So now I'll be watching it instead. But that would be a fantastic game. Urban Herbert saying, "I got the golden power veto." Man, I wish I'd gotten a couple of vetoes or the ability to take away some vetoes during my season as well. I've always thought Big Brother would be great if they had a theme somewhere where you could win money or points or something else at the beginning part of the season but then you could use that to buy back advantages. You could bid them in auctions of some sort, kind of like Survivor does with the food auction that always has some advantages as well. What if they had that for Big Brother, where you win some hide and go veto, where you find things that give you extra Big Brother bucks, and then you can use those to buy a veto or to steal someone else's vote, do something like that. Because I've always thought if you did that, sure, if I'm in trouble, I may actually use it to buy a veto, and no one's going to question your ability to do that. But what if someone knows that I've got $40 or $50 worth of Big Brother bucks, and they're sitting there saying, hey, you need to buy a veto so you can use it on me to protect me because I'm your ally. Suddenly you're forced to decide just how important that person may or may not be. I think you can have a lot of fun doing something like that. So yeah, I would have loved to have been able to get a golden power veto for Christmas that I could have used retroactively 5 years ago. Cindy saying, our Ma saying, I also got a Beatles backpack. I just watched yesterday. I've seen it before. It came out while I was in the Big Brother house. About a guy who just suddenly wakes up one day and no one knows who the Beatles are. So he starts writing all their songs and becomes famous. If you haven't seen it, it's one of my favorite movies that's come out for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Just a little tangent there on your Beatles backpack, Ma. Let's see. What else? Karen Loveland is saying, bought a hot tub for our Christmas present to each other. I love the idea of that, Karen. That's fantastic. We Sharon and I kind of do that with our anniversary as well. We tend to buy a big gift for each other. We haven't decided what it's going to be just yet. But hot tub, that sounds like a lot of fun. We had the hot tub in the Big Brother house. That was never hot. I don't know if they couldn't afford the heating bills or the heating pipes just weren't quite up to speed. But at the best, maybe every once in a while it was lukewarm. That's why you never see a lot of people spending a lot of time sitting in those hot tubs during a Big Brother season. If it was truly hot water, you'd have people out there all the time. That would have been so fantastic after some of those competitions, but not to be. All right, let's see. A warm, fuzzy throw blanket with a hood. Cindy saying, I got a heated blanket as well. I'm big into warmth. I like it really cold outside within a whole lot of heated stuff all around me. I like to be kind of cocooned up and all nice and toasty and warm on the inside. My mom is saying, just letting you know that it is now against the law to have a skunk as a pet in Texas. Well, they call that Cliff's Law, probably. Nah, they probably don't. But I didn't know that. Not that I really was planning to go down to the pet store tomorrow and pick one up, but that is good to know. And I sure as heck am not going to try to go out and catch one and domesticate it. But that's probably not a bad idea. There's some animals that probably shouldn't be kept as pets, and maybe what we did back in the 60s and 70s, not so much nowadays. So I support that law. I'll keep it in mind if I go to anyone's house and they got a skunk running around downstairs that I have to be dealing with. Wouldn't that be something? Yeah, I guess there haven't been a lot of people saying, all right, I'm seeing who won the game. I'm not going to mention it in case there's someone who doesn't want spoilers, but that's okay. All right. So that we got one side of the game that'll be next week. It's going to be a good one. But that'll be good. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Here's fun talking about wild animals and all of that. Coming home today, I actually saw a wild pig on the side of the road. Traffic was kind of bad on the interstate, so we took a little side road. You know me, I know a few shortcuts here and there. So we were on a little side road, and while we're on the side road, I thought, look, is that a goat? No, that's not really. So we slowed down. No, it wasn't a goat. It was a feral pig. Big old. This pig's done pretty well over its holidays because it was fat as a pig. It was huge. Talk about making a good ham. Huge, big old pig just on the other side of the fence. And those things are kind of mean. I had suggested, say, hey, you think I could get out and pose for a picture next to this pig? That'd be a great little reminder for tonight's show. But then I had this other image of me climbing that fence and immediately being chased down by this pig and having a less impressive photo to show. Probably would have gone viral as a TikTok or something, but at what price, right? They're mean. They can be very mean. But yeah, we saw a wild pig. I'm used to when we drive down here in Texas seeing deer, all kinds of wildlife and critters here and there, rabbits and all. Haven't seen a pig by the roads so very often. They tend to be back in the woods and everything else. So anyway, there you go. All right. What else? Cliff, email production right now. Yeah, I think we'll leave that alone. All right. REM saying I saw a fox in the parking lot. That's pretty cool. When I was up working in Alaska, I saw a couple of Arctic foxes, which was, they're beautiful creatures. But we also received notice saying, leave them alone. Don't go try to feed them or anything else. Apparently, a lot of the Arctic foxes up in Alaska spread rabies back and forth. They said, if you go touch one of those things or get anywhere close to it, you're going to be exposed and you're not going to like the shots and everything else that you have to get as a response. So just leave the wildlife alone in Alaska. Which is a good idea. I saw a polar bear while I was up there crossing the road. That was pretty impressive. Impressive when they're crossing the road as opposed to running towards you. And that'd be a little less impressive, a little more fearful type situations, right? I can say I saw a polar bear out in the wilds, which was kind of neat. While I was over in Saudi Arabia, they've got big signs up everywhere saying, be on the lookout for wild camels. They just I guess they're over there the way deer are over here. And sure enough, driving along, we'd see a little band of 5 or 6 camels all walking together. Not something that you want to hit with your car. They're big old critters, right? But yeah, I remember seeing a sign for camels as well. So I rode a camel while I was over there. Not a wild one. Not that crazy, but a domesticated camel. Those things smell. The camels don't get a lot of baths while they're over in the Middle East, but I can say I rode one at one point in my life. All right, 751. Let's see what's Cindy Hire saying they had the Space Needle lit up and a lot of drones for New Year's Eve. Okay, I knew there were other cities who did it. I knew over in Abu Dhabi they had it, the Burj, which is the world's tallest building. They had supposedly the largest concentration of drones. They had like 1,000 of them. I gotta say the drones I saw at Dallas, I was a little more impressed than the ones in Dubai. But the hell of fireworks going on in that building. So yeah, it makes sense. The Space Needle in Dallas, it was Reunion Tower. They did some here in Houston, but again, we were a little further north, so we watched the Dallas ones instead. All right, let's see what else do we have. 754. Let's see. Who's saying this? REM. Now I missed it. Oh well. Trying to read y'all's comments, guys. Yeah, y'all are just having y'all's own conversations. I don't need to be jumping in. REM said, I got nothing for Christmas. Well, REM, I hope that's not the case. But if so, I'm glad you're out here getting to hang with us and enjoy a little after Christmas activity instead. Someone said, will you be covering the traders? I think we may talk about it once it comes out. Here's the problem about covering anything on Peacock or Netflix. Well, 2 issues. One, they don't have the live feed, so it makes it a little bit harder sometimes to have long, drawn-out discussions because we don't get to see a lot of the planning that takes place since we just have the episodes. But the other problem, when you're talking about something that's not on the network TV, is there's some people that binge and watch pretty much all of it as soon as it comes out. And there's others who don't watch it till a little bit later. So I guess I could still cover it. And then once someone watches that episode, then they can go watch my coverage after the fact. So that may be a possibility. I don't know. It's a good suggestion. I'll have to look at my work schedule and everything and see how I can make it work. But it'd be a fun one because I think Traders is a fantastic game. The game mechanics seem to be a lot of fun. The fact that you convince people that you are a trader or not a trader, and there's a lot to that game. Urban Hermit said, "I would trust Cliff as a faithful. Could you be a trader?" Yeah, Urban, you would be in trouble if you did that. I would love to go on that show and be a trader because I think there's people who would assume that I wasn't, that I couldn't play that villain role. And I think I could play it pretty well. I've thought a lot about after watching that first season, the way strategies. I'm not sure that the game, and I shouldn't say this because there's been a lot of seasons over in the UK, but I feel like in the beginning, people are a little too focused on who is or isn't a faithful versus a trader in terms of voting and everything else. I really think the first part of that season, who cares? As long as they aren't putting your name down as a trader, who cares whether the person they send out is faithful or not? You want to get out the biggest targets and not even worry about whether you're actually correct or not. And then later on, when you've got the numbers narrowed down a little bit, then you start trying to get out some of the people who are gunning for you. I think I think there's some strategies I didn't see used as much in the first season here that I thought there should have been. So yeah, I'd love to go on. I would love to be a trader because I know I would catch people off guard, and it'd give me a chance to show my not my evil side because I don't really have an evil side. But if it's necessary for a game, I feel like I could pull out a little bit of a villain side, and it'd be fun playing the evil guy for a little while. I'd do it all with love, and as soon as the game was over, I'd give them all hugs, and we'd all be hopefully good to go. But yeah, I'd love to do it. That or Squid Game. Maybe I need to make some calls and see what could happen. And of course, Amazing Race is always going to be something I'd love to do. Put me with Kat, put me with Donnie Thompson. There's a few folks I'd love to do Amazing Race with as well. So who knows? All right, guys, it is 7:57, so we've got to shut it down here in a second. But I'm glad I got to come out here. I was really worried coming back in town that traffic's going to be bad. I was going to miss some of it. So I'm glad I was able to get in and get it all set up for yet another year of Cliff Notes Live. Patty Bell saying, just stopped in to say hi. Well, howdy, right back to you, Patty. I'm glad you can make it. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. 2024. I've told you all this before, I think. I still remember one of these just little frozen moments in time. 1976, 4th of July, bicentennial, our 200th anniversary celebration of the United States. I remember sitting there with some cousins saying, gosh, I'm going to be 35 years old in the year 2000. That seems like so far away. I can't picture me being 35. I can't picture us living in the year 2000. That just seems like so futuristic. 2024 was even beyond that. And I'm kind of happy I'm still sitting here getting to enjoy 2024. But we were picturing the time we'd all be on the moon and floating around in space cars and having robots working for us. Didn't know we'd have computers that we carried around in our pockets all the time. But yeah, it's been a wild ride that I've gotten to do. So yeah, 2024 sounds very futuristic, very modern, and let's see what happens this year. We got the drones flying around and everything else. It's gonna be great. All right, Jake the Horror Movie Geek saying your birthday is on Saturday. Will be 36. Congratulations, Jake. Man, happy birthday. I'm glad you mentioned that. Happy birthday to you, my friend. I hope you have a blast on your special day. Enjoy every bit of it. Special, I mean, just birthday alone, I'm sure you will, but especially a birthday and it being on a Saturday, have fun, but stay safe and let me know what you did come Monday afterwards. But happy birthday to you, my friend. Really glad to hear that. All right, let's see what else. I think we'll probably shut it down with about that. It's 7:59. We got a football game getting ready to start, and I'll be watching that as well. So, guys, welcome to 2024. I'm so happy I get to share it with y'all. We got another year of Cliff Notes and covering whatever we want to cover, but I got some suggestions tonight, so we'll start looking into it. I'm looking forward to the new year. We got Canada Big Brother, US Big Brother. It's going to be another fantastic year. A lot of you guys, man, y'all been with me for several years. I get to hear y'all living your lives and doing new things all the time. And that kind of makes it fun as well. Let me know what y'all are up to. This should never just be me talking. I want to hear what y'all guys are doing as well. So keep that in mind as we go into the New Year's. All right, guys, I'm going to shut it down. As I mentioned at the very beginning, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, turning on notifications, and you can hit that thumbs up while you're out there as well. Much appreciated. And before we shut it down completely, one more thing, guys. Taylor's birthday as well. Taylor Mangus' birthday on Wednesday. Oh, thank you. All right. So, y'all tell me when it's y'all's birthdays. Taylor, happy birthday to you as well. On Wednesday, the 5th, have a fantastic birthday celebration. I'm going to write down my phone just so I can silently say to myself a few times on Wednesday, happy birthday to you, Taylor. I hope you have a blast on your special day. All right, guys, we'll shut down that. As I said, if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Turn on notifications. Thumbs up's always appreciated. But the most appreciation is just having y'all out here live or on replay, either one. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the new year. All right, guys, finish it up with the big old SKD 143. Love my wife. Love my kids. Love reality fans. Especially love you guys. And I love that we're all going to get to explore 2024 together. Bring it on. Guys, y'all have a great one. I will see y'all next Monday. Until then, Cheers, my friends.